O divine art of subtlety and secrecy, through you we learn to be invisible, through you inaudible, and hence we can hold the enemy's fate in our hands. War is no joke. It doesn't matter whose side you're on. Lives will be lost, homes and families destroyed, and empires will crumble when two opposing forces clash. Welcome back everyone, Shrike here. Arena in gacha games isn't new, but the one in Sword of Convallaria does things a little differently. And that's in no small part to their grid-based tactical system. I played Clash every day since launch, and I'm sitting at gold right now. Many others are higher than me, but I don't know how. Maybe they found a way to get more than 5 attacks per day, or maybe this is worldwide, since the game was out for a bit in other countries before it was released globally. I don't know, but what I do know is that Clash is a lot different from the rest of the game, and I'll share some tips and tricks for you to get the most out of it. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of his kingdom. So, for starters, once you unlock Clash, you'll have to go to this menu here, and then down here to get it on PC. It's right on the main screen on mobile. The reason you want to make sure you're doing Clash each day is 1, because these rewards here are very good, and 2, because you only have 5 attacks a day, so if you miss a day, there's no way to make those up. The idea of Clash is that you set up your own base defense for others to attack, including structures that either buff your characters, shoot the enemy, lie in wait to trap the enemy, or delay the enemy. Each has a cost, and there's a stronghold limit. Bear that in mind. And when you're ready to attack, you select one of 3 options here in the middle, someone else's base that you want to attack. If you don't like those choices, you can reset it up to 3 times a day. Before we go into the tactics of offense and defense though, I'll show you the facilities. Here is where you'll spend your merit, earned by winning battles, to upgrade your stronghold, the general base, and the individual components like traps and burst towers. Once you're ready to fight, the first thing you need to do is win. As Sun Tzu says, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. So now that your victory is assured, the rest is ceremony. You load into the base that they've set up, their characters all controlled by AI. There's a round limit of 11. You lose if you hit the limit or your characters all die. You win by destroying their structures at the back corners of the base. And addressed them thus, I presume you know the difference between front and back, right and left hand? Now, offense is pretty simple. I've never once lost, and I semi-auto it every time. So here's my technique. See this bridge here? This is the choke point, and it's set up perfectly so that you move and can't quite hit them, and then they move and can hit you. So what we do first is we skip the first turn entirely because the AI is stupid. That ultra-tactical position they've set up doesn't matter. All their characters are going to funnel right onto the bridge. Maybe an assassin will try to go around, but the point is they'll move to intercept you instead of holding position like good soldiers. And as Sun Tzu says, whoever is the first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. The towers can hit you, but ignore them. Their damage is pathetic. In fact, I wouldn't even bother using them in your own defenses. Once at least one of their characters is on the bridge, and this is vital, you pop your march command, as I hope you do at the start of every battle. It really is that good. This is when you slam that auto and watch the absolute carnage. If you wish to manual it, follow this advice. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. Meaning supports in this case. Your biggest foe is not the enemies, it's the clock. So take out their healers and shielders first if you can, and the rest will fall. Another method is after we've lured them onto the bridge, we circle around with units that can jump and have good range of movement, and we take out their structures. When the officers are too strong and the common soldiers too weak, the result is collapse. Now for defense. You'll want to treat this team differently than an attacking team, because the AI will be in charge of it. So your squishy DPS and your healers will charge right ahead, just like your tanks and bruisers, because again, they're stupid. This can be mitigated simply by not including them. Not running a DPS carry team, which is defined as one DPS character, a tank to draw aggro, and supports to buff and heal. A better lineup, in fact, would be to not use a DPS at all. Stick to tanks, bruisers, and supports. The idea here is to delay the enemy and let that clock run out. On defense, the round limit is your biggest ally. One reason for this is that for whatever reason you do less damage on defense, so your nukers are less effective. I discovered this by watching the replays of attacks against me, and I recommend doing this every time. You'll see the pathing your characters take, the weaknesses the enemy exploits, traps and barricades that aren't working as intended, and over time you'll improve these things. And speaking of defense structures, I would highly recommend not using those blast towers. The range is good, but the damage is toilet water. It might be worth it in late game when you can level them up a lot, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Also, I use barricades not to stop the enemy from reaching me, but actually to stop my own units from getting onto the bridge, or at least delay it a bit. I only use buff towers, and I keep them behind my units. Otherwise, they're always destroyed too early. You've set up an impenetrable defense, and all of your attacks are predetermined successes. You're swimming in merit. Now it's time to spend it. Go upgrade your stronghold. Level up those structures that have been putting in so much work for you. Because as Sun Tzu says, treat your soldiers as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. And thus concludes the ultimate Sword of Convallaria Arena Guide, Sun Tzu's Art of Clash. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, it helps out a ton, and if you want to see more content like this, check out this video.